Yo, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. So the Air Jordan 30 dropped today. Obviously I picked up my pair. We're gonna go over some tech specs, but real quick, make sure that you check out my last video. It's a special edition series of Nightwing Knows where I go over every single Air Jordan from 1 through 29 in separate videos. But not only do I go over the shoe itself, but we go over all of the pop culture stuff that happened in that year. Well, not everything, because that'd be impossible. But I went over some of the coolest parts, at least in my opinion. And I think that the videos came out pretty cool. So go check out the first one. You can click right over here, or you can click the link in the description box below. Now with that being said, let's go ahead and get X-rated. So here it is. After all of this time, we've been waiting for like what, 2 years now? And we finally have the same exact shoe. No, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can use the whole if it's not broke, don't fix it type thing. That's obvious. But since when has any Air Jordan signature model ever done that? Never. It's never been so satisfied with itself that it's just like, yo, f it, we're staying put right here. Because in order to be the best of the best, you constantly have to top yourself. And if you can't top yourself, are you really the best? I don't know. One thing's for certain is that these are gonna play really well on court. You know how I know? Because I've already played in them. Plain and simple, man. I've already played in them. Twice. These are guaranteed to not fail. Now, while I am a little bit disappointed that they reuse the same tooling, which is literally a first for the Air Jordan line, not all is lost because they did some things to it that I do actually like. Most notably, they took off the plastic TPU around the heel. However, they still have it on the flight speed plate as well as on the entire forefoot, both on the medial and lateral side. So this is all TPU. But then the heel portion is all foam. So this should compress a lot better than when they have it wrapped up like this in TPU. Now, is that gonna drastically alter their performance in any way at all? Of course not. It's gonna make the transition slightly more fluid, but I mean, you could have done that by redesigning the entire midsole. But hey, what do I know? I find it amazing that they can reuse the flight speed tech in all of the mellows since the 10, but have them all look drastically different, even though they all use the same essential flight speed system, right? Same thing with the Superfly, and so on and so forth. I don't know what went wrong here, but something had to have happened when they just said, F it, we're going back with the 29. Now, something that I'm not a real fan of is the globe on the tongue. I just think it's cheesy looking. I do like how they put that little UNC dot right there, and that goes to, you know, pay homage to his days in North Carolina. But other than that, I think that the Jumpman logo should be on the tongue of a Jordan. That's just me though. Something else I like is this little hit of galaxy print. I just think it's cool. You know, that's all I got to say about it. It's just cool looking. So it's not going to do anything performance wise. It's so small that it's insignificant from a design standpoint, but it's a nice little touch. Something that they made a pretty big deal about is this little toe cap right here, made out of like this little pearly plastic rubberized stuff, and that it's supposed to be ventilated and everything and also protect the material. There's not really any real airflow under here. You can see perforations underneath it, but the entire covering, this whole piece right here, is solid plastic. It doesn't allow air to go through it, so it's basically canceling out any potential ventilation that it would have received, and you can see the whole Jordan logo thing right there, which is pretty cool. And then this is also all reflective, which is nice. I do find it interesting, however, that everybody really loves supposedly this look right here on the toe cap, but everybody hated it when they did it on the Air Jordan 2012. Just saying. Then the performance woven upper returns with a gradient finish on the upper. You can see the black to white fade. I think that's really slick looking, looks real cool. I actually really like the heel XXX right there. Wasn't a huge fan of it when I first saw it, just because I thought it was very weird, but when you do see it enough times, you kind of like, it kind of grows on you and you're just like, okay, I get that. That looks pretty cool. As far as the performance woven itself, it's much thinner than what was used on the 29. I actually prefer the 29's performance woven over this. This just feels a little bit on the cheap side. It's real thin, and the performance woven on the 29 and 29 lows felt very premium and plush, and this just doesn't. There's not a lot of padding on the interior of the forefoot area or anything like that. It just feels very, very, very thin. Something that's interesting is the entire collar right here is made out of fly knit, so I think that's pretty cool. However, I do think that this is just kind of like unreasonably high, that it doesn't need to be that high. They could have cut that down a little bit and it would have looked a lot better in my opinion. Now, they have done this before with the asymmetrical collar. It started with the Air Jordan 13, where you can see the interior here is higher than the exterior, but they made it look even on the tips right there, so when you're you're looking at it face on, they don't look lopsided. And as you can clearly see, they did not do that here, and it just looks funky. They have huge Achilles notches right there in the back of the shoe, and then inside you can see all those lines. Those are actually little rubber grips, and those are gonna basically attach to the bottom of your foot or your sock and just kind of hold your foot in place while you're playing. The shoe itself fits true to size, but they are very snug. I personally love the way that they felt when I put them on foot. I thought they were amazing feeling. It reminded me a lot of the 29 low. So whatever size you got in the 29 low, if you ended up getting them, that's what I would recommend here. Again, I went true to size and they fit perfectly. Now the most notable change is the traction. This is the one part of the tooling that they actually redesigned. So instead of just reusing that wave pattern, they went with whatever this is. I don't know what it is, but it's all over the place. It's all over the box, it's all over the midsole, and clearly it's all over the outsole. And that'll pretty much take care of it. I am going to play in these. I'm going to performance review them when I'm done. So stay tuned for that. I do have a bunch of other performance reviews coming up. They basically were kind of like taking a back seat to that whole Nightwing Nose series, because I literally recorded 29 videos and then I thought that I could edit 29 videos quickly, and no, that's not gonna happen. So I've got like 9 episodes of that Nightwing Nose series pre-recorded and edited and uploaded, but I still have 20 more to go. So that's gonna take a while. So stay tuned for that. So as soon as I could get the Hyper Rev, the Mentality 2, the Audacity up, I will. In the meantime, enjoy these other videos because I think that they're cool, they're unique, and they were a lot of fun to do. One extra thing that I will say about the Jordan 30 itself though that I actually really liked is the packaging and presentation. Not only is the packaging just super simple, super clean, I love the way that the box looks. It just looks awesome. But I love how when you open up the box, this is the first thing that you see. And that's really cool. It's something very small, but that little detail gives you the premium vibe. Like you pull off that top and you look down and you have not only the Jordan brand symbol looking at you, but 3 giant X's as well. And I just think that's awesome. Like, it was just a really cool touch. Again, something very small, just a tiny little detail, but it was awesome. It had a huge impact. You open the box and you're like, damn, I got a pair of Jordan 30s in here. This is gonna be crazy. So I thought that was really dope. So I don't know if anybody else felt the same way, but that's how I felt. And I just think that, you know, like I said, it's the small details that count. This is the bang for your buck right here. The shoe itself we know is gonna play well. Again, they redid everything from the 29, so it's impossible to have that fail. So by putting a little bit more effort in the box, you actually put more effort in the packaging than you did into the actual shoe. I think that was a good touch, especially for $200. And that pretty much takes care of it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for all your support. It really, really, really is appreciated. I can't tell you guys that enough. Make sure that you hit that like button as well. That goes a long way, helps me out quite a bit. And until next time, guys, have a good one.